Okay, Sages, welcome to your February 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign in February. Okay, let's see what's coming up for you. All right, so things are already getting a lot better, kind of similar to Scorpio's energy. You guys have this like really bright window of Three of Wands, the Star, and Wheel of Fortune. But you also have some of the negatives coming into the Tower, the Moon, Death, Nine of Swords, Justice reversed. It's that transitional phase, between the Capricorn and Aquarius energies that we had of Jupiter and Saturn. And a lot of us are like, okay, I have this really beautiful opportunity, and then I have this really dark tendency or group of people or circumstances that I just can't seem to get away from that seem to just be a dark cloud. So we're reconciling having both of these things at once as Sagittarius. And you're still getting used to now having your ruling planet of Jupiter in a very happy, good sign for Jupiter, Aquarius. It was in Capricorn for all of 2020, which was really tough. And a lot of you are still maybe in that mindset. And the month of February is going to shift you over into a much nicer, easier way of being. So you've got to let some of that stuff crumble away. You've got to let some of these old, outworn mindsets just like exist in the past and get out of that Nine of Swords mentality. So you might have too much on your plate. You might have too many thoughts on your plate, like too many like things that you're not even endeavoring, but nonetheless are on your mind. So that's important for Sagittarius to release in the month of February, is like, oh my gosh, I have this and that I have to take care of, but I know that I'm not even going to be dealing with any of that, but I'm going to think about it. If you think about it, try to make it happen. Maybe challenge yourself to engage the physical world however you think. So if you're thinking about that person or that thing or that job or project, hold yourself to it. Thinking about the project, start on the project. Thinking about getting that homework done, do that homework. Thinking about the next period of time and the jobs that you're going to have, plan it out. Try to get out of a tendency of like, okay, I'm driving my car or I'm working my job and I'm thinking about these things that are not at all connected to those things. You're getting detached from yourself. So try to think about what you're doing while you're doing it. Again, this is basically like ADD stuff, where's your attention? If your attention is way a million miles away from what you're doing is going to fragment, all right? And it's going to get weird and it's going to get like hard to deal with. Likewise, what you're then focusing is going to get fragmented because it's not what you're doing, but it's where your mind is at. So we have this sort of like dual mindset, dual purpose, dual experience for Sag that needs to heal in February. Okay, so struggling to keep your attention or focus on what you have at hand is a sign that that's not really where you need to be in the first place. So are you somewhere that you don't need to be? Are you doing things that you don't want to do? Sometimes I know we have to do that to get by. Sometimes we have to work jobs that we don't love in order to pay the bills. I get that. It seems like with Jupiter and Saturn and Aquarius, though, you can have almost no excuse in the next few months to not be in a job that you like or to not be in a pursuit or goal that you enjoy enough to warrant, working that second job because you're building up to something. Basically, in the next few months, Sag, you want to really be loving every aspect of your life. It doesn't mean that certain things aren't difficult, but you know why you're doing it and you feel good about why you're doing it. That job or that relationship or that degree plan or whatever. What is it going to take, Sag, for you to feel good about it? This is why the Tower and the Death card are here, because it's like, okay, complete and end these self-troubling notions that are keeping you out of the vibration that really gets you what you want. And the universe is going to help you with that. Let's look at the week to week. Week number 1, the Star rooted down by the Death card. So you're going to come into contact with like information or an understanding of like what you're meant to do. Coming into contact with soul purpose is a big part of that first week. Congratulations, Sagittarius. That's beautiful. Okay. And kind of like I was talking about for Scorpio, there might be something that you have to maybe embark on a process of like cleaning up or purifying the results of some perhaps sloppier energetic outputs now need to be re-envisioned. Okay, so the star is very much like the symbolism of Aquarius, where we're pulling energy out of one thing and placing it into another, replacing certain energy dynamics. And with that in mind, Sag, do think about maybe what that process could look like for you. You know, how are you cleaning up what you're doing? How are you also doing with timing? Okay, how are you feeling with your timing efforts? You know, like, are you feeling like you're having good timing? Are you feeling like you're in the right place at the right time? You should really start to feel that way more so, because it was difficult timing maybe for you last year. And you're called to transform out of that a little bit more in the first week of February. Good timing. Being really calibrated in what you choose to change or what you choose to create for yourself. Like, a lot of you could create an asset for yourself in the first week of February, or start on that process, okay? New sources of value should really start to come in as a big possibility. Okay, week number 2, Sagittarius, you have the Wheel of Fortune rooted down by 3 of Wands. Beautiful, beautiful energy in that second week. Try to really pay attention to what's coming in for you in the second week, because that's going to really modify your life. Like, some of the things you have coming in, just really observe, okay, the way that your luck might be changing, or how much better things turned out than you could have anticipated. How things might change, how sometimes problems turn into really great assets, how really great assets can turn into problems, you know, the Wheel of Fortune energy. And with the 3 of Wands reading that down, there should be a new horizon now, okay? Very new horizon right in front of you. Let's see how moving into that might be, okay? Week number 3, the Moon rooted down by 9 of Swords. Okay, so your mental dexterity is coming up. The dexterity of your decision-making process comes up. How you're choosing to see certain things in your life. Are these like positive things, negative things? Can you maybe take a new spin on what you're contributing a lot to? It's all about your lens, okay? The lens you're taking to your life in the third week. We're moving into Pisces season in that week. And now it's about de-stressing. Okay, Pisces season of 2021, I'm finally starting to understand, is a little bit about de-stressing. It's about knowing what works, what doesn't work, what is too much for you to do now, what isn't, and how you're moving forward with that in the future. Don't make this too hard on yourself, you know? Try to just withdraw from what you're not liking and heal and rejuvenate your brain. Okay, so like brain healing for Sagittarius. Certain addictions need to be done with, okay? Even look at like caffeine and stimulants and you know, is this actually maybe lessening your vitality in some way? Heal up that mind. Okay, week number 4, you have Justice reversed rooted down by the Tower. The fourth week of February, why I'm kind of building up this reading in this way, you know, pulling back, de-stressing, changing what you don't like, starting to clean things up a little bit, is because the fourth week is going to crumble those things in your life that don't need to be there anymore, possibly. And maybe not totally, but mindsets, and also, you know, thinking about legalities as well. You know, if you're running a business, what all does that mean for like procedures and formalities? Like, I would take those things into account as well and make sure that you're in the right place there, because you're going to maybe be a little bit tested on projections and on the status quo of what your life was from 2020, okay? And it's only going to work out for your favor, though, is the thing. The Tower, I'm starting to see, is always just about the removal of something that in the long run, even though we might not see this now, it would have caused us a lot of problems or not had us in the right place. So it might feel like a problem right now, but ultimately this is for a good reason, what's going on in the fourth week. And I know you know, maybe this is like the last hurdle of what Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn was for you in 2020. the the third and fourth week of February. It's the last hurdle. Pisces season should treat you really well ultimately, and you'd be surprised about how relieving it can feel sometimes on the other side of all of this, okay? Anyway, Sagittarius, thank you so much. This is not meant to be ominous. Ultimately, what's happening here is just like a change of fortune that I think is really positive in the long run. It will help you out. Try to be confident in the oncoming horizons that are not quite here yet without worrying too much about them. Anyway, Sagittarius, I'm going to put together an extended for you on Patreon. We'll look at a central theme and two supporting themes. If you want to check that out, it'll be linked below and in the center of your screen. We love to come together on Patreon, and I hope that you'll check it out if you're interested. Much love. Have a great, great February. Bye, Sagittarius.